the last time you saw this picture that the Packers officially tweeted out?
Man, that's on our fridge back home. So it's been a minute since I've been back home and saw that, but I don't know who got that, but it's funny.
Is that kind of how you felt tonight?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So, is there any way in a nutshell to account for the difference in the first half and the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we came in the locker room at halftime, the message was that we just weren't finishing, we weren't executing our plays, and we weren't locked in on doing everybody's 111. So, there was plays to be made, and I think we just weren't executing those, and we weren't able to stay on the field. I think the first half went by really fast for us as an offense. We had one scoring drive, and so I think the message was just do your job, lock in, and execute plays and stay on the field, and we did that.
On the 9-yarder to Tucker, you were backed up and like you were under pressure. Did you even see him, or what did you see there?
Yeah, no, I saw him. We had kind of a man beater on there, right? And I saw Tuck going to the corner, and as I was kind of throwing it, got hit. Obviously, I had no idea where the ball even went. Was hoping it, nothing bad happened, and Tuck just saw the replay. Tuck made a great play. Obviously to come back for the ball and then to get that yak, that's a big time play.
What's it like having a tight end like him? I think the stat was 131 of his yards came after the catch tonight. But what's it like having a guy like that?
It's big time. He's a big time player, and I think everybody's seen what he's capable of when he gets the ball in his hands. Just making guys miss, running people over, getting those extra yards. So that anytime he touches the ball, he's going to try and fight for all those yards, and he's just an explosive playmaker. So I'm just glad that everybody's kind of seeing what he's all about now.
Did you feel like you were kind of in the zone in the second half as far as just reading things and putting the ball on the money?
Man, I was just playing. I think you get in that as a player where you just start flowing and playing well, and everybody around me just making plays as well and executing at a high level. So obviously I think we knew what we needed to change at halftime. And I'm just glad we were able to go out there and do that and start making some big time plays.
Jordan, what did you say to Aaron? What did he say to you in the little exchange afterwards?
Yeah, man, it was quick. Just said good game. Obviously keep going for the rest of the season. Want him to stay healthy, and that I got a lot of love for him. So it was very fun to go against him, and told him that I needed that jersey. We're going to exchange those at a later time.
I think you guys are in the second half. Do you think have you started figuring out who you are, what you do best? 85 and 9. You fed the ball a lot to them in the second half. Do you feel like that identity is starting to come around?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely been flashes all season of our identity, and I think the message has always been just trying to find that consistency. I think obviously getting Christian back was awesome. Just another explosive player, and what we want to be is the most explosive offense in the NFL. So I think just trying to find ways to be as consistent as possible, because we know what type of offense we're capable of being. It just comes down to making plays, and like I said, the first half it wasn't up to our standard, and obviously I think the score reflected that. Some of our drives reflected that. Then you look at the flip side, and second half we were able to do that. And so I think that's just what we need to be at all times, just trying to be as consistent as possible.
Jordan, Pete asked you about kind of being in the zone on those 20 straight completions. That's the kind of thing Aaron would do. Any channeling of that in your game tonight, and just overall what you learned from him?
No, man, I'm just trying to play my game, but like you said, obviously being behind A-Rod for 3 years and be able to see him and just the high level play that he was capable of going out there and doing, and being able to put the ball on the money at all times was very cool for me to be able to see. But for me, it comes down to just trying to be the best quarterback I can be for the team, trusting those guys, putting it out there for them to go make plays, and those guys doing a great job of making those plays. So that's kind of all it is.
7 regular season games with Micah as a teammate now. He had a big second day. Is there anything that's surprised you about him as a player, as a teammate, as a person, or anything that's kind of stood out so far with his run for the Packers?
No, I mean, Micah is a phenomenal player. I think everybody knew, who we were getting when we made that trade for him. So I think the most surprising thing for me is just the way he is every day at practice. The player you see out there on the field on Sundays is the same player at practice, where we're trying to have to tell him to ease up sometimes and stay away from me at times, because he's always hunting, trying to get those sacks and trying to win every rep. So I think it's one of those things we just got to keep going. But we knew what type of player he is, and just trying to go out there and be our best, and him doing that as well.
I know you have immense respect for Aaron. Was there any added pressure coming into this game, going up against the guy that they moved on from to go to you? And is there any more satisfaction that you came out on top? I know you don't go head-to-head with him, but that you played well and you guys came out on top in a game that also involved him.
Yeah, for sure. There's that, like you said, there's that added level of pressure. I knew coming in this week, this is going to be a very hyped up game and very talked about game for A-Rod coming back and playing against the Packers for the first time. And, obviously us going up against each other. So, that. And like I said at the beginning of the week, my mindset was just trying to come out here and focus on getting that win. Trying to block all that extra stuff out and just be the player I need to be and focus on what their defense does and find ways to take advantage of that and coming out here and getting this win. But definitely I knew coming into the week what was entailed in this week.
Was the 4th and 1 call, was that something you guys practiced during the week? And I mean, it worked out great. He's wide open. Was that what you were seeing on film that made you think that play would work, or was it
the flat to Tucker?
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. That was we've ran that play before, and that's exactly what we're trying to get right there. And everybody executed it at a high level. But I think it's a tough play for defense to stop on 4th and 1. You got a lot of different elements you got to try and stop with the run or the pass, and obviously was able to get Tucker wide open right there for an easy completion.
Did you feel like that was a big play because the way that the half ended so badly for you guys, and that you're down, you needed some points? Did it feel like something might have turned there?
No, for sure. Definitely a big play. I think anytime you go for it on 4th down, in field goal range right there, could take the points, but coach giving us that trust to go for it. So anytime you're on the field on 4th down, to be able to convert that is a big play. And then I can't remember what we did after that, if we got a touchdown or not, but to come away with points, I mean, is big time. So, like I said, anytime you go for it on 4th down, converting that, gives you that extra layer of confidence and to try and go finish that drive off.
2 more.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, that was the tale of two halves right there. A lot of credit to Pittsburgh for the first half, and then I thought our guys. The greatest thing I saw from our guys was I didn't see any panic. They stayed together, and we cleaned up some things that we didn't do in the first half, and just made plays. So I'm really excited for our guys. Now we got to take it, learn from it, and move on.
How do you, in a nutshell, how do you account for the difference between the first half and the second half?
Yeah, I think when you look at it, there were some penalties on defense in the first half on third down, namely. And then offensively, it was the same thing. We had a couple drops on third down. I couldn't tell if the first one was a low ball or not. But all in all, I mean, we really played three pretty good quarters. The second quarter was the one that we didn't do a very good job. Looks like you're the only guy asking questions tonight, Pete.
I guess so. So what did you think of, I mean, Love's just seemed really hot in the second
Oh,
half.
he was on fire. That's why I kept wanting to throw the football. And then, our run game's been just there's some good moments and some not so good moments. And, it's a credit to them. I really thought going into it, that's a really, really tough defense, I think, especially when you look at their front. So they did some good things, but ultimately I think there's a lot of things that we got to do a lot better.
Do you feel like you're starting to figure out some things as far as identity or what you do well in offense? And you feel okay about building the passing game where your tight end is a really, really big part of it?
We'd be crazy not to. He was a beast. He was a man possessed, and you just got to find ways to get him the ball. And the first touchdown was a cold run where we spit the ball out on the run alert, and the guys, the receivers, I can't say enough about those guys, just the effort that they bring in regards to not only the pass game, which is to be expected, but in the run game, blocking for the backs or blocking for Tuck in that situation. So those guys really stepped up and did a great job.
Well, Watson seemed to have a lot of juice.
Yeah, he did. I mean, just to get him back in the fold, you can see it's just his ability to do so many different things. He's such an intelligent football player. He's obviously a specimen. It was great to see him get back out there. I know the journey that he's been on. It's been a long road. It was a pretty devastating time when you think back to that game versus Chicago last year, and to lose him, who's such a great team first oriented guy. Just always goes out there, competes, does his job, and I'm really excited for him.
With the way the K-balls are flying, it was a little surprising to see that kick come up short. In retrospect, is he still a week or two away, or do you feel okay?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll reassess, reevaluate. I thought, in the second half, he certainly went in and did exactly what we needed him to do. He felt good about going into it. He had a good warm-up. So I think you gotta trust a guy that's had so much proven success over the course of his career. And we see it in practice, too. He had a good week of practice. So, yeah, it's just he came up short.
The play before the 4th and 1, I think it was 3rd and 3. Did you know you were probably going to go for it no matter what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that why you ran the ball? And then did you feel
Yeah.
really good about that call because it was wide open, got the
Yeah.
first down?
Yeah.
What had you seen on film that told you? Hey,
Well, it's just part of the game planning process, and I think just we're in that bunch set quite a bit, and it was a great job by our guys executing. It's a one-on-one, Pete. Take your time, man. There's nobody else in here.
7 games with Micah as a Packer.
Maybe there is.
7 games with Micah as a Packer. Obviously, everyone knows what the player is, but has there been anything with this, extended look at him now that has surprised you about him as a player, as a teammate, as a person?
Yeah, I just think he's been incredible since the day we've gotten him. It doesn't take long. You sit down with him. He's a really intelligent person, first and foremost. But then you go out there and you watch how he practices. He gives great effort in practice. And I think that's why, he's a freak of nature anyways, but I think guys that do that are built like that, and then they have those habits that they form in practice, you know, it's not surprising to me that he can go out there and have a lot of success in the games.
What's your feeling that the quarterback who replaced your previous guy, to have him go out there and play so well with that guy under center the other way? What's that do for the organization? What's that
Yeah, I
feeling?
think, well, it's great for Jordan. Jordan's worked his ass off to get here. You know, he was patient throughout the process, throughout the journey, and he took advantage of the opportunity. He really did, and I thought, you know, it's been cool. I've said this many times, just to watch how he's matured as a young guy coming in here at 21 years old, and he's a grown-ass man now, and you see it, what he does, how he carries himself. He just is so confident. He's a great teammate. He encourages the other guys. He's a hell of a leader, and he's really grown as a football player. And I think that, I'm sure going into this game, I'm sure he put a lot on himself. And I thought he went out there, and he's just so consistent in who he is through the good times and the bad times. And, you know, I've seen him, there's moments where you can sense the frustration from him, but he keeps going. And I kind of, to be honest with you, I kind of like it when he gets a little pissed off, because you don't see it too often.
Good.
All right, have a good night.
Let's do it in the hall.